Hi, ever wondered how the terminal works? You know, the scary black window. Well, it's a bit like commands in Minecraft. Well, first, we need to know what a terminal even is. The thing you interact with your terminal is the shell. It wraps around your operating system kernel and lets you execute programs, for example, to move around your files. If you're on Linux or Mac, you probably have Bash or ZSH as a shell. Windows also has shells like PowerShell and CMD. Now that we know what a shell is, we can talk about how to actually use the shell. Every command you execute is most of the time just a program that lives somewhere in a standard directory. These directories are, for example, /bin or /sbin. If you're on Windows, it's maybe program files or program files x86. Regardless, the syntax depends on where your program lives and how the arguments are passed through. For example, if you want to run a program in a non-standard location, you would type // and then your program name. If you're on Windows, it would be /\. In this case, I want to run Blender, so I go into the directory and select open with terminal and type /blender.exe. As you can see, it runs. Sometimes if you want to check if a program has some errors, you can open it through the terminal and look if it outputs some errors in the terminal. But if you want to run a standard system utility, which is located in a standard directory, the standard syntax for these programs is then most of the time the name of the program, then followed by its arguments. In this case, the program echo is used to print out stuff in the terminal. So to use it, you just type echo and then your text you want to output in parentheses. And look, it says hello world. This is comparable to the /say command in Minecraft, where you also type /, then the name of your command you want to execute, and then followed by the arguments you want to pass through. You can also move around your file system with a program called cd. To use cd, you maybe need to list your directory with another program called ls, and then you type cd and then your directory you want to move to. You can then see where you are with again ls, or just look to the left where your name is and see the directory. You can also read files, and for this use case you would use something called cat. To use cat, you again type the name of the program, so cat, and pass through your text file as an argument, and it will output what the contents of the text file were into the terminal. But sometimes you need something called flags. Flags are also passed through like your typical arguments, but they are typed with one dash and then followed by one single letter, which is some abbreviation of a behavior that the program should follow. For example, if I have a folder with some contents inside, if I try to delete the folder with the program called rm, it will complain because I didn't specify to delete the folder recursively. And to specify the behavior, you would type dash followed by an r, and then your file is an argument, and then it would recursively delete the file. You can also encounter flags with two dashes. In this case, you just need to type a full word instead of a single letter. You can of course also automate your commands. To do this, you would use on Windows a batch script, and on a Unix operating system you would use a bash script. There's also something called piping. In this case, you would type your first program and then type a pipe and then your second program. It would then automatically put the output from the first program into the second program. This is often used for installation scripts because they often pipe into bash. One example for this is the installation of Tailscale, where in this case it pulls an installation script from the internet with curl and then pipes it into your shell. I hope the video could show you how the terminal works, and see you next time.